Pope Francis has a message for journalists: convey hope and trust. It's part of his message for the World Day of Communications presented in the Vatican today. The head of Vatican Communications says journalists need to break the cycle of bad news, not denying that evil exists, but showing that it does not have the final word. The message was released today on the feast of St. Francis de Sales, patron saint of journalists. Delia Gallagher, Vatican correspondent for CNN, was at the Vatican's presentation today and joins us from Rome. Delia, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Lauren.
You have covered 3 popes, from John Paul II, Benedict XVI, and now Pope Francis. How do you see the Vatican's communication changing? Is it improving under this pontificate?
Well, Lauren, I would say that, Pope Francis, one of the kind of distinguishing things about him is his very conversational style. And I think this is one of the things that people find endearing about him. From a journalist perspective, I can tell you that in a sense, it doubles our work because, I'm thinking of, for example, on the papal flights when he gives the infamous papal interview. He tends to digress. He likes to tell stories. And so when you ask him a question and you're taking the dictation of what he's saying, you'll find a lot of ellipses and trying to follow back and forth from all of the different stories that he likes to recount. And you try and get to sort of, well, what's the answer to the question? And if we compare that to Pope Emeritus Benedict, for example, who sort of spoke in complete paragraphs each time, it's a huge difference in terms of communication styles. And I think it's one of those things that also creates a certain amount of perplexity for some people when they look at Pope Francis and say, okay, where is he going? Who is he? What does he want to do? And trying to find those kind of very easily formulated and definitive answers are sometimes a bit more difficult from him.
Let's talk about what happened today. He said we should not just focus on bad news, but find a healthy balance in our news coverage. That is very hard to do.
Well, it is, except that I think we do it. I think we do give good news. Certainly, the cable news, the nightly broadcasts in the United States always try to leave some room for a good story, a good news story. And I think it's right that the Pope reminds us of the need for that. At the same time, of course, underneath that is also the very important point that journalists, in the first instance, need to report accurately and need to try to get to the truth. Even when we can't get the big truth, at least we have precision in our storytelling and accuracy in our facts. It's a big debate right now in the United States, and it's something that we're reminded of over here again with the Pope's message that good news or bad news, really our first focus has to be on getting our facts right. And then, of course, the credibility from people who are watching us or reading us to believe those facts.
All right, Delia Gallagher, Vatican correspondent for CNN. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.